of America, and they don't like most of the Trump voters because they are Americans. And De Niro, how stupid is he without a script? Isn't that amazing? I used to think, wow, that guy's brilliant. But once you take the words away from him, he is so stupid.
What about the garbage outside today? Robert De Niro, officially sent by the Biden campaign, makes himself look like an idiot and reminds us why Trump is so popular.
It's so stupid. It was colossally stupid. If you're going to send
Robert De Niro just got tag-teamed by the unlikeliest duo since peanut butter and pickles, Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly. And let's just say, it wasn't pretty. If you thought De Niro could dish it out, wait till you see how he takes it, like a soggy cannoli at a MAGA rally. From Hollywood tantrums to cable news savagery, this roast turns into a five-alarm media firestorm. Buckle up. This takedown is juicier than De Niro's last box office.
We'll make America great again, and everybody's how intellectually deprived he is. He's a coke-addled simpleton, without a script. It is hysterical.
Does he have a big coke problem?
I just read that article that you sent me about the last nights of John Belushi and how De Niro was there and just basically partied with him and then split. And it's just like, that's now I just think of him as a really stupid guy.
Robert De Niro, the legendary tough guy of Hollywood. The man who made You Talkin' to Me an instant classic. The actor who could make a mean scowl that would intimidate even the toughest mobster. He's been around the block more times than a New York City cabbie, starring in movies that shaped entire genres. But somewhere between Taxi Driver and the 21st century, this icon started to morph, not into a new role or a new character, but something far more curious. A fading star with a loud political megaphone that's just about lost its battery.
Go speak outside of the Trump trial. Make it someone who's universally beloved, like a Michelle Obama. She's not universally loved. She's not loved on the right. But I'm saying, like, at least within the left and the center left, and maybe even some center righties. Robert De Niro has gone so hard partisan over the past 8 years. He is like example number one of Trump derangement syndrome. He's one of those, I'm moving to Canada if he wins, and he's never going to leave the White House if he wins. We're going to have Trump forevermore. I mean, hello. I hate to break it to you because I realize you're advanced age too, Robert, but people die. So he will leave. One way or the other.
You're going to send somebody to go speak outside of the Trump trial? Make it someone who's universally beloved, like a Michelle Obama. She's not universally loved. She's not loved on the right. But I'm saying, like, at least within the left and the center left, and maybe even some center righties. Robert De Niro has gone so hard partisan over the past 8 years. He is like example number one of Trump derangement syndrome. He's one of those, I'm moving to Canada if he wins, and he's never going to leave the White House if he wins. We're going to have Trump forevermore. I mean, hello, I hate to break it to you, because I realize you're advanced age too.
Last night, an elderly, confused man went missing in New York. Luckily, a band of self-satisfied elitists found him babbling on the street, threw some pants on him, gave him a stage.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
But people die. So, he will leave one way or the other. Enter Gutfeld, the late-night satirist who's been sharpening his comedic machete, ready to hack through the overgrown jungle of Hollywood nostalgia. Gutfeld isn't one to hold back when it comes to taking down the once great, especially when their glory days look more like reruns on cable access. He looks at De Niro and sees the image of a man trying desperately to stay relevant, like that guy at the party who keeps bringing up how he once went to Woodstock, but no one asked. And honestly, nobody really cares anymore.
Number 2, Robert De Niro. Congratulations, sir. Another Oscar for the iconic actor who, now 80, appeared on Bill Maher over the weekend and had some choice words about Donald Trump.
The guy is a total monster. And anybody, I don't understand it. I guess they get behind that kind of logic.
That could be tough for an actor to play such a hateful man. Someone like, I don't know, like Bernie Madoff, say, a guy who stole $65 billion from nuns and Holocaust survivors like Elie Wiesel and was sentenced to 150 years.
Gutfeld's take isn't just a simple roast. It's a full-on demolition of De Niro's carefully constructed persona. Because there was a time when De Niro wasn't just an actor, he was a symbol of raw, unfiltered grit. The ultimate anti-hero who could make silence scarier than any bullet. But these days, he's about as intimidating as a teddy bear with a bad haircut. And that's the crux of Gutfeld's jabs. De Niro's political rants feel less like passionate statements and more like the ramblings of a man whose prime expired around the same time floppy disks were a thing.
That kills kills me. Talk about persuasive. Really, I was on the fence about Trump, but then I decided to really listen to one of the great generational leaders of American pop culture. And the clenched fists at the end, that really drove it home. It looked like he was pressing a 2-pound weight in a Jenny Craig commercial.
Oh, my God.
Look at it again. It's so cute. It's like he found out the restaurant serves Jell-O, or that he won a $10 scratch-off, or he scored a cameo in Jersey Shore, or he had his first #2 in a week. Thank you, Fibercon. What a sad end for a great actor. He went from Raging Bull, to this.
The laughs aren't just about age or fading stardom. Gutfeld expertly skewers Dairos' attempts at staying in the public eye by loudly, and often awkwardly, weighing in on every political controversy like he's the voice of a generation. The problem? The generation has long since moved on. Instead of sparking conversations, Dairos' statements land with the subtlety of a wrecking ball in a china shop. Gutfeld highlights the comedy in this disconnect, a Hollywood titan turned Twitter warrior, swinging punches at invisible enemies while the world watches and cringes. There's also the delicious irony in how Dairos' legendary tough guy roles, once steeped in gritty realism, now seem at odds with the polished, performative grandstanding
So Robert De Niro, who's got a severe case of the TDS, is in conference right now, as all of the muckety-mucks are. And he's very unhappy about what Trump is doing to try to keep filmmaking, American filmmaking, in America by slapping tariffs on foreign-made films so that he can basically try to force people to make them domestically again for the American audience that they're meant to serve. And here's what De Niro said on Tuesday.
America's Philistine president has had himself appointed head of one of our premier cultural institutions.
It's almost as if the method actor took a break to binge-watch cable news and decided that outrage was the new acting method. Gutfeld doesn't miss a beat, throwing in barbs about how this modern Dairo is more about grand declarations than subtlety, more about scoring social media points than delivering Oscar-worthy performances. And it's funny because, well, it's
Poor
true.
Bob. You know, he's like a star whose girlfriend dumps him for a bigger star who's in the White House while you're in Dirty Grandpa. Oh, man. So now the resistance is reduced to applauding tantrums. Who knew De Niro's lasting role would be irrelevant gas bag pleasing irrelevant peers? And he's doing this as Trump organizes a summit. Not a war, a summit. And you got to wonder, if it were President Hillary, Bob's choice, would you actually have a summit or would you have a war? But forget deeds. What matters is adulation received from an emotional display before a packed sea of millionaire lemmings. So who cares that Trump meets with North Korea? It's no meet the parents, right,
Just as
Travis?
Gutfeld tears into the fading star's public persona with late-night humor, Megyn Kelly approaches the target from a different angle. Where Gutfeld is the court jester, Kelly is the seasoned news veteran, wielding her experience like a scalpel to dissect the spectacle. Kelly's criticism zeroes in on Dairo not just as a washed-up star, but as a celebrity activist whose political performances are as hollow as a badly written script. Kelly's critique is surgical and precise. She paints Dairo as a man trying to navigate a political landscape that's moved far beyond celebrities simply shouting from the sidelines. In her view, his activism feels performative, a series of photo ops and social media tirades that lack any real substance or policy insight. It's as if Dairo believes that shouting louder and angrier equates to political wisdom, a misconception Kelly swiftly exposes. The entertainment world and the political world are two very different stages, and Kelly shows how Dairos' attempts to cross over often trip on their own theatrics. Her approach is calm, incisive, and unforgiving. Unlike Gutfeld's sarcastic punchlines, Kelly's critique digs deeper, peeling back the layers to reveal a celebrity who seems more interested in the spotlight than the issue.
Hypocrisy is alive and well amongst these sanctimonious leftists. From Kimmel to De Niro to Stephanopoulos, they want you to believe they're better than you, more virtuous, more decent. But we all know the truth. They lie. They sin. They do the very things they accuse you of and the things they say they would never do. Evil things. Like try to destroy people based on feigned outrage from which they spare their own side. Or playing politics with a woman's
Disconnect undermines both his credibility and the causes he claims to champion. Kelly's perspective offers a fascinating look at how celebrity culture can sometimes do more harm than good in serious political discourse. Dairo's star power doesn't translate into political influence. Instead, it often becomes a distraction, a loud but empty echo chamber. What makes Kelly's critique particularly biting is her journalist's instinct for spotting the difference between genuine activism and performative gestures. She highlights how the latter often gets mistaken for the former in today's media-saturated environment, And De Niro is the poster child for this confusion. It's a powerful reminder that being a great actor doesn't automatically make someone a great political commentator or influencer, as the narratives of Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly unfold side by side. The combined impact is almost cinematic. Gutfeld's irreverent, sarcastic dismantling of De Niro's fading star power complements Kelly's sharp, methodical exposure of the shallow depths of his celebrity activism. Together, they form a perfect storm, a two-pronged takedown that hits both the image and the intent behind De Niro's current public persona.